What if your child's school was suddenly transformed into a migrant shelter? Would you be prepared for the changes and challenges that might bring? Let's take a moment to consider a real-life situation unfolding in Brooklyn, New York. James Madison High School, an institution known for its commitment to education and student development, is currently in the midst of a drastic transformation. Nearly 2,000 migrants are being housed within its walls, forcing students to switch to remote learning. This wasn't a gradual process with ample warning time. No, it was a last-minute decision that caught everyone off guard. The news broke online, sending shockwaves through the community. Parents, students, teachers, all had to scramble to adjust to this new reality. The second floor of the school, once bustling with students eager to learn, will now serve a different purpose. It will become a home for those who have none, at least for a while. But what prompted this sudden change? Why did the school have to be converted into a shelter? The answer lies in the harsh winter weather and a place called Floyd Bennett Field. Previously, these migrants were housed in massive tents at the field. However, the dropping temperatures and worsening weather conditions made it impossible to continue living there. The safety and well-being of the migrants had to be ensured, and thus the decision was made to move them to James Madison High School. This was not a decision taken lightly. The school was not the first choice, but it became the necessary one. The second floor of the school was deemed suitable, and so the process began to transform it into a temporary shelter. A drastic change indeed, and it all started with weather concerns at Floyd Bennett Field. But this is just the beginning of the story. As we delve deeper into this issue, we'll explore the political undertones, the reactions of the parents, and the broader implications this event has on American society. Stay tuned as we unravel the complexities of this situation. Imagine living in massive tents exposed to the elements. That was the reality for these migrants at Floyd Bennett Field. A vast open space, originally used as New York City's first municipal airport, had been transformed into a temporary home for nearly 2,000 people. Picture the scene: rows upon rows of large tents, each one a makeshift shelter against the harsh winter conditions. The decision to move these migrants didn't come overnight. It was a last-minute call driven by growing weather concerns. The biting cold of the New York winter, the chilling winds sweeping over the field, and the threat of snowstorms were all factors that could no longer be ignored. The safety and well-being of the migrants needed to be prioritized. So, a decision was made. The migrants would be moved to the second floor of James Madison High School in Brooklyn. A dramatic change, yes, but one deemed necessary for their survival. But the weather was not the only factor that triggered the relocation. What role did politics play in this sudden move? That's the question we find ourselves asking as we delve deeper into the scenario. The answer, as it turns out, is quite a bit. Let's rewind to November. Governor Kathy Hochul was in talks with the White House. The subject: a green light for setting up a tent city at Floyd Bennett Field. Yes, the very same field that is now deemed unfit for habitation due to weather concerns. So the decision to house nearly 2,000 migrants in a high school was not a spur-of-the-moment choice, but the culmination of political negotiations that began months ago. But not everyone was on board with this plan. Enter Councilwoman Joanne Ariola. She saw the potential pitfalls of this proposal and issued a warning to the administration. Her concerns, unfortunately, appear to have fallen on deaf ears. Now we're living in the aftermath of that decision. A high school turned into a makeshift living space. Students forced to go remote. Parents grappling with a sudden change. And all because of a political decision made in the corridors of power. This isn't a simple case of cause and effect. It's a complex web of political maneuverings, negotiations, and decisions that have far-reaching consequences for thousands of people. So the decision was not just about the weather, but also about political negotiations. How would you feel as a parent seeing your child's school transformed overnight? Imagine the surprise, the shock, the concern. These are the emotions coursing through the veins of parents whose children attend James Madison High School in Brooklyn. A last-minute decision to house nearly 2,000 migrants on the second floor of their kids' school has sent shockwaves through the community. Parents are voicing their concerns, their fears, their frustrations. They're questioning the decision, wondering about the implications. They're worried about the safety and education of their children, and they're not afraid to let their voices be heard. The sudden change, the abrupt shift in their children's learning environment, has left them reeling. But it's not just about the immediate impact on the students. Parents are also thinking about the broader implications. They're considering the potential effects on American tax money, the potential strain on resources. They're looking at their neighborhoods, their homes, their communities, and they're wondering what this could mean for them. The decision to house migrants in a school is not just a matter of logistics. It's a matter of community, of society, of values. It's a decision that's sparking conversations and debates, prompting people to question, to think, to engage. It's a decision that's forcing people to confront the realities of immigration, the complexities of policy, the challenges of integration. The relocation is temporary, but the impact could be long-lasting. So, what does this situation tell us about immigration as a whole? It underlines the intricacies of the issue, the balancing act between humanitarian needs and the impact on local communities. Our story was about migrants resettled in a high school in Brooklyn, a decision prompted by weather concerns. The students of James Madison High School had to switch to remote learning, a sudden change announced online. Parents, understandably, were upset. Yet, the relocation of migrants isn't a permanent solution. It's a stopgap measure until weather conditions stabilize and the tents at Floyd Bennett Field are suitable for habitation once more. This episode typifies the ripple effects of immigration, the strain on resources, the disruption to local communities, and the broader implications for American tax money. But it also brings to light the humanitarian crisis, the struggle for safety and shelter that these migrants face. Immigration, a simple word but a complex issue. What are your thoughts on this?